The mirror isn't lying, but your mind might be. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Weight Loss for Women Over 40 podcast. This is what we're going to be talking about today: body image, the mirror, your mind. I want to welcome you to Weight Loss for Women Over 40. I am your host, Nikki T, and I have been in this industry for 23 plus years. I started off in physical therapy and I became a personal trainer, health coach, behavioral coach. You name it, I did it. I was a Zumba instructor, Pilates instructor, yoga instructor back in the day. I've pretty much done it all. I've seen it all for sure. Over the thousands of women that I've helped over the years, from boot camps to private training to private coaching to online courses now. I've seen what dieters mentality has done to us ladies over 40. And I'm tired of it. Really, really tired of it. And I think that you can lose weight without all the diet crap that goes with it. You know, the sacrifice, the willpower, the shame, the guilt, all that can be eliminated when you focus on your mindset first. So if you're new to my world, welcome. This is where we get to eat whatever foods we want and we still lose weight doing it. So today we're going to be talking about the mirror isn't lying, but your mind might be. And before I forget, if you want to be in my world more, definitely hit follow for the podcast, but get on my email list. And you can do that by going to weightlossforwomenover40.net/book and grab your free copy of 5 reasons why you aren't losing weight over 40. I also have my Crush Your Cravings, which is on sale right now for only $7. It's absolutely ridiculous that it's $7, but I want people to get a hold of this. The Crush Your Cravings course is just mind-blowing. It's pretty straightforward, to the point. You could be through it in a couple hours, maybe, if that. I don't even think it's that long, but it is going to help you not eat the foods that you want, because again, I have a no foods off limits policy, but it's going to help you kind of navigate when those cravings start coming up, when you feel like you want to emotionally eat. So if you want to grab that, go find that at weightlossforwomenover40.net/crush. Go to my homepage. Everything's on there too. So, all right, let's dive into the topic. So the mirror isn't lying, but your mind might be. So, again, if you know me, I grew up in the ballet world. I grew up in front of a mirror 24/7 pretty much. I do remember my mom saying when I was really little, probably like 3. I think I started dancing when I was 4, so probably was like 3, maybe 4. But we used to go into the department store, probably Macy's, and you know those three-way mirror things they have where you can look at your clothes, and it used to be out in the open. Now I believe most of them are, in the dressing room, but used to come out, and she said she would always find me staring in the mirror, dancing, making faces, all the things. So add that to when I started at 4, being in the ballet world until I stopped when I was 30. I mean, I spent a lot of time looking in the mirror. But there is this body image distortion that most of us have. And it's not about vanity, right? Trust me, I know some people that cannot walk by a mirror without glancing at themselves and like, it's more of a narcissistic thing than a natural thing. Like most people that I know of, they look in the mirror and their instant reaction is like, oh my gosh, this is wrong, or my hair's wrong, or my eyeshadow's wrong, or whatever, right? So we're not talking about vanity, but we're talking about mindset, memory, and identity that goes along with your body image. So there are mirror moments that every woman has. When you look in the mirror, you catch your reflection and you instantly feel defeated. I talked about this on my social media, and also on another podcast. When I was at a family birthday party, there were pictures being taken, and I thought I looked all cute in this outfit, right? And I saw the picture. Now that we have, you can see your pictures instantly. Back in the day, you had to go to, what was it, Photomat, and get them developed, and fingers crossed, they came out. They weren't blurry. But my sister-in-law was taking the picture, and I said, "Can I see it?" And again, thinking I looked all cute in this outfit, and then I saw the picture, and I was like, I look like I was 6 months pregnant. And I posted on social media. I'll probably post it again if you want to check it out. Go to any of my social media, Instagram, Facebook, my personal page, or that's probably the two places that I will put it because YouTube and TikTok are all videos, so you may not see it there. But go over to Weight Loss for Women Over 40 over on Instagram and come follow me over there. But what's interesting is when I see the picture that was taken, and man, God bless my sister-in-law, because I asked her to take it a couple times, and everybody who rallied with me, and not rallied, but like had to put up with me essentially for taking the picture like 10 times, and every time I looked at it, I still looked like I was 6 months pregnant, and I kept kind of now at the point I was in a mindset where that wasn't spinning me out of control. Now, if that picture had been taken 10 years before that, I probably would have been a hot mess. I probably would have been like, oh my gosh, I have to do 9 hours on the treadmill. I'm not eating for a week. I'm only going to have, whatever, all dieters mentality crap. But I had already done the work on my mindset. So I was good. And I knew that I did not look like that. That picture was not representative of what I knew. And I didn't change anything, didn't eat it differently or anything like that. But that happened on a Saturday. That following Monday, I had eaten breakfast and lunch, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a picture in my normal gear, my workout gear. And it looks like a before and after picture. It really does. And again, I had had the mindset, so I wasn't feeling defeated. I was kind of questioning, like, okay, does that outfit really, that's not very flattering. Um, I was questioning things other than like, wow, I suck. Wow, I look horrible. No, it was like, that doesn't match up with the identity that I already know that I have. And this is key as you are looking at yourself. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear somebody's car alarms going off in the back. um, this is what you see when you look in the mirror and we start judging and we start shaming ourselves and we start going, oh my gosh, I'm so far from where I want to be. Right? And I get it. I totally, totally get it. I have been there multiple times and it's a little frustrating. It's a lot frustrating, gotta be honest. But again, when you have your mindset in the right place for success, it's not as triggering as you think. It's more objective, it's more neutral. Your brain, when you look in that mirror, your brain starts interpreting things about your body, not from the physical, right? Because you can see, like, think about this. If you were totally neutral and you looked at yourself in the mirror, and when I say neutral, I mean like neutral thoughts. When you looked in the mirror, you wouldn't be thinking specifically about things. You just see this framework of your silhouette, right, in your body. But we don't operate that way. Our brain starts going through this process, this filtering process, and what it's filtering through are your belief systems. They are the things that you grew up being taught. Oh, big thighs are not a good thing to have, right? My nose is not as pretty as so and so's. It should be smaller, right? So we start filtering through these things. I'm overweight. Overweight means I'm lazy and can't do anything, which is not true. It starts filtering your thoughts through your belief systems. It does not go through the facts. So your brain, this is fascinating to me, and I just kind of dip my toe into this. So as I kind of dive into it more, I will share more about it. But there's this concept that your brain kind of makes this map, right, of how your body is in space. Okay, so as a ballet dancer, I feel like I'm very aware of my spatial awareness. I am aware of where my arm is in space when I lift it up in the air, or where my feet are, where I'm placing my body, right? And I think that's something that ballet dancers in particular are taught. But even you know, like how much physical space you're taking up, you know when your arms are out to the side, like that kind of thing, right? So, but that connects with your brain, and it connects with any trauma you've experienced, any shame you have experienced, any dieting that has already warped your brain. Because think about this. So if you're walking in shorts and you are overweight and you have bigger thighs and you think like chafing or that movement, that is filtering through what you were taught about your thighs. Okay, perfect example. Talked about this before on the podcast. I was told that I had big thighs when I was like 14 or 15 as a ballet dancer. And again, I had big thighs because I was a jumper. I could jump. I could jump. And even to this day, I still have, it's not as bad as it used to be, but I still have, ooh, my thighs are a little big. Like, I don't like how they're rubbing together or whatever, right? So there's this filter that I have and you have that we go through subconsciously, right? It's not always conscious. And I think some of it is conscious, like you're aware of like, oh, something's going on with my thighs, but it's so much deeper. It's so many layers. So many layers that you have to unearth. And a lot of it sounds like white noise, right? Especially if it's one of these things like if you're overweight and there's this dialogue of like, I'm unlovable because I'm overweight. Who could love someone that big? Who could love someone that looks like me? Right? And these are, for me, they tug at my heartstrings because I don't want anybody to hate themselves skinny. And it's such an unearthing, it's such an untangling of all the trauma, all the thoughts, all the things that you were brought up with, that I was brought up with all the layers, right? And it's so uh, complex in a sense, right? But once you kind of dive in and you dig in and you realize what's going on, it just opens everything up and it makes it so much easier to understand what's coming, what's bubbling to the surface for you, right? Especially when you look in that mirror. So, and I think too, as females, body images have been taught to us throughout our life. I'm hoping that the next generation coming up doesn't have as many. I think we will always have them just because there's this level of judgment. They talk about Instagram and the highlight reel and all that. And so, yes, I guess kids are still, maybe it's even worse. I don't know. But I do think that it often peaks around the 40s and the 50s for us females because we're changing, right? Our hormones are changing, our muscle tone is changing, your skin starts to change, right? And we're comparing ourselves to the younger version of who we used to be. I recently was going through some pictures and I found some of when I really first started getting into weight training, which was probably mid 30s. Up until that point, I was like dancer mode. I had kind of lifted weights here and there, but nothing, I don't know what the heck I was doing until I became a personal trainer. But I really got into fitness, probably my late 30s and 40s. And, I've been taking time personally to, um, to go through my own healing journey because of the personal things that I've been going through over the past couple years. And I haven't been lifting weights as much. I've been walking a lot of cathartic walking, managing my mind and things like that, and getting back into more weight training. But my point is that, I look back at those older pictures and, I compare myself to now and I'm like, oh, I'm not as strong. I'm not as this. And that's okay because I'm not beating myself up over it. But a lot of times, we look at being over 40 as like this, it's all downhill, right? And it's all got to suck. And as soon as that change happens, look out. I don't feel that that is the way. Now, I'm not completely over into menopause, definitely perimenopause still. I don't know. I'm 51 and a half. I don't know when it's going to happen. But I can't speak from my own experience of being in menopause yet, but I can speak for the clients that I have trained and the people that I have worked with and the people that I interact with. It's such a variety of information personally. Like there's some people that have really no issues with menopause. They slide right into it and it's not a problem afterwards and all that stuff. And I think that a lot comes from your mindset. of what you think it means to go through the change, to go and be over 40 and be over 50. Like, what is your thought process about being 40? And if it's like starts off with, wow, this is really gonna suck, or like this is my prime, but after that it's all going downhill. Like 50, oh my God, 50 is gonna be horrible. What about 60, 70, 80, right? We have these preconceived beliefs about what should happen as we age. But what I'm finding and seeing, and this is why I love the internet so much, is there are some people in their 90s that look amazing. They are still weight training, they are still taking care of their body, they're doing yoga, they're doing all kinds of amazing things for their health. I am on a mission to prove that that doesn't have to be our case, right? So if you want to join me on my mission, join me, please. Let's be the generation that shows up in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, hundreds and kicks ass, man. Let's be strong. Let's not let this belief system of it has to go all downhill once you're over 40. I kind of went off on a tangent, but so when you look in the mirror and you're comparing yourself to the younger version of you, or even maybe you have a child who is identical, like my daughter, she's like the spitting image of me. I don't compare myself to her because I know I'm not her. But like some people do compare themselves to their children or what they're going through, and they look back and they have memories, and it's almost like this want of like, oh, I wish I was 21 again. I didn't have these problems. You don't want to be 21 again. You don't want to be a teenager again, I promise you. Be the best version of you at whatever age you are at, is the bottom line. So when you are looking at yourself in the mirror, I want you to get curious about those thoughts that are bubbling to the surface. What is triggering you the most? Because that's the one that that's the one you want to pull on, that string. Um, so in closing, I want you to know that the mirror isn't your enemy. So when you look at the mirror, I want you to be neutral about it as best you can. If you need help, I'm your coach. Come on in. But the mirror is not your enemy. It is the decoder for your unprocessed thoughts. It is going to decode the path of trauma and belief system that you have built up through your entire life that is making you believe something about yourself when you look at yourself in that mirror. I hope that makes sense. When you are looking at the mirror, your thoughts are coming up and they are making you think something about yourself. If it is a negative feeling, you are not in the right headspace. You are in a spiral, probably starting to tip over. You are in a I hate my body type thing. Okay. That is not where you get to your dreams and your goals. You cannot get to your dreams and goals from a negative space. You have to switch it over to a more positive reframe. That doesn't mean you have to be happy clappy all day long and rainbows and glitter and sunshine. That's not it. It's getting into the energy of who is the person that looks in the mirror and goes, wow, you're amazing. I can't wait to see what the next 50 years with you looks like. So next time you pass that mirror, which will probably be later on today, get curious. What is that inner dialogue saying to you? What's coming up? What's bubbling to the surface? What's the first word that comes to mind? And if it's a negative, this is where the work begins. Because again, you do not lose weight for the last time starting with food and exercise. You starting line for that is inside of your brain. It's in between your ears. You have to get your mindset in a space where you are going to be successful. I hope this episode was super helpful to you. If it was, please share it with a friend. Let people know that weight loss for women over 40 is a new way to look at losing weight for the last time. Again, you've heard me talk about being on a mission I mentioned earlier, but being on a mission to really stop women from hating themselves skinny. There's no reason. You can love yourself, love your body, love your life as you go through and get the body that you want. So I will leave it at that. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. At when this comes out, it will be Easter weekend over here in the US. So happy Easter if you are celebrating, and if you're not, happy Sunday. All right, come visit me over on Instagram or my personal Facebook page. Nicole Turnay is my Facebook page, and Instagram is Weight Loss for Women Over 40. 40 at the end over on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. I'm also at Weight Loss for Women Over 40, and I'm also on YouTube. So come check it out. Subscribe to all of them if you were feeling really fun. And if I can ask a favor as a small business owner, the best way you can help out a small business, mine and anybody else's that you know, is to like the post, like the reels, comment on them, share them with a friend if you're hanging out on social media, because the algorithm loves when people interact with posts and reels. Right now, I'm doing a lot of reels, so you're going to get a lot of gems out of watching those reels. And I also have a 30-day Better Health Challenge running on my social medias too. So go check them out. They're going to be in the Reels section or the Shorts section if you're on YouTube. All right. Have a beautiful weekend. And when you look at yourself in that mirror, just know that you are awesome and amazing just as you are. And it's okay to want more regardless. All right. Take care.